Persona 3 Reload is an incredible game that brings together everything that makes the Persona series so amazing into one fully fleshed out package. And in this video, I just want to break down my journey of getting the Platinum on PlayStation 5 for the game, and how I felt about doing it. Since this game is by far one of the greatest games I've ever played, it was a hell of a ride, and I would definitely do it all over again if given the opportunity to do so. I'll be breaking this video down into two main sections. I want to go over the trophy list itself and how I feel about it, and then I want to go over my experience getting the Platinum and the roadblocks I faced on the way. Even though this game's Platinum is fairly easy, I still think it's one that only fans of the series would realistically be able to get done, and that's the best kind of list in my opinion. I don't want to get ahead of myself here in the introduction though, so let's go ahead and get into my thoughts on the list more thoroughly. So the actual trophy list itself for Persona 3 Reload is exactly how a trophy list should be. It asks a good amount from the player, and while most are pretty easy, there is one major trophy that could pose a roadblock for you, and that's the trophy to max every social link. Proper time management in Persona is key, and for this trophy that's exemplified. To save yourself from needing to complete an entire extra playthrough, you'll ideally want to do this in your first run, but that's way easier said than done. In case you aren't aware of what social links are or have not played a Persona game, they are basically friends you make bonds and connections with through spending time with them, and each person has a set schedule every week for when they are available, which is why time management is so important, because you need to get all 22 social links to rank 10 for the A Legacy of Friendships trophy, and you're working on very limited time. The thing that makes this difficult in Persona 3 Reload especially is the fact that almost every social link is during the daytime in this game. There are only 2 social links you can do at night, so even though it might seem like you have plenty of time, you really don't. Most nights are going to be grinding social stats or spending time with your party members to give them new abilities, so this makes getting the social links done in one playthrough even more stressful than you'd think. On my first new game playthrough, I was about 5 ranks short from being able to complete all of the social links, and that's because my time management was pretty terrible since it was a blind run. But this isn't a bad thing. A trophy is meant to be a challenge or roadblock that you need to overcome, and if you have the required skill to manage your time in-game to fulfill this stipulation, then you deserve to have that reward and satisfaction that people with worse time management than you would have. The thing with a lot of Persona Platinums is that they are very easy, and while there are definitely some exceptions like Persona 4 Arena, which is one of the hardest Platinum trophies I have ever gotten, across the board for about half of them, there are baby hurdles that you can get over with zero effort. Reload's list is a nice balance of easy trophies, but then that one trophy that only dedicated players will be able to get. Aside from the social links trophy, the other ones basically ask you to do a bunch of various things in the game, like using skills for the party members, working part-time jobs, completing requests for Elizabeth, and things of that nature. These smaller, easier trophies are important because they give you a clear indication of progress you're making toward the Platinum, but they also encourage you to just see everything the game has to offer, and in my opinion, that's the main objective a trophy list should be trying to achieve. Another thing I loved about this trophy list was simply the trophy icons. The trophy icons for this game might be some of my favorite in this series because they actually got creative with these ones, and every time I saw one pop up, I just thought to myself, damn, I wish every Persona game had this tier of trophy icons. But this isn't to say the others are bad, Reload is just on another level. That's about all I want to say for the list itself. Like I said, it's a really good list, and if Persona 6 is something similar to this one, then that's something I can definitely get behind. So this will lead me into my own experience with getting the Platinum. Like I mentioned before, I actually messed up my first playthrough and couldn't max them out, so I want to go over what I did wrong and what I learned from it. The mistake I made was focusing on social links outside of school during school days, which is probably the dumbest possible thing you can do because the school social links are obviously only available on school days, so during the summer and days off, you're just shit out of luck if you want to hang out with them. The reason I did this though is because some of my favorite social links in this whole game are outside of the school. Maiko and the old couple are really enjoyable social links, so I had to prioritize them. One thing I will say though is that Reload really helped me to appreciate the social links in this game more across the board. Social links I didn't really think too much about, like the Emperor social link with Hidetoshi, I gained a much bigger respect for, and that's mainly because of the voice acting. I said this in my spoiler-free review for the game, but the voice cast in this game is probably one of the best of any game I've ever played, especially Yuko's voice actress Shelby Young. She made me love that character even more than I did beforehand. I loved her voice acting so much, in fact, I even got a print signed by her, and it's one of my favorite things I have in my collection. With that said though, there are still some social links that I hate with every fiber in my being, and if it weren't required for the Platinum, I would have never even started them. I'm looking at you, Gourmet King, you absolute disgrace to this game. but that's no hate toward the voice actor. There's just no saving that garbage ass storyline. Anyway, since I had focused on those non-school social links too early on, once the free days like summer started coming through, I really didn't have anything to do. I got a lot of them done, so really all there was to do was to raise social stats, but eventually I already had that done as well, so there was genuinely nothing for me to really do to advance the social links besides pray at the shrine. That wasn't enough to save the run though, because by the time I hit about December, I knew my run was done for and I wouldn't be able to get it done. Low key though, I wasn't mad at all because like I said, my time management was bad, so I deserved to hold the L. But also, it meant I would have an excuse to play the game again. I loved this game so much that I didn't even mind the thought of needing to redo the entire playthrough just to complete it. And just to make the challenge more fun, I did it on a new game save file instead of using my new game plus save file, which would have made it a lot easier. And I think that's a testament to just how much I loved this game. I've been mainly focusing on the social link trophy since that's the most difficult one, but what about the other ones? Did I struggle with any of those or what? Well, to be honest, not really at all. And that's just because of the nature of the series. The only way to make a trophy much harder than maxing the social links is to make an entirely different genre of game like the arena games did. Well, actually I say that, but they could have made a trophy for defeating Liz and that would have been the hardest trophy in the game. But hey, all I'm gonna say is even if that was a trophy, your boy would have had that on lock. The only other trophy that was kind of difficult was defeating the Reaper, and that's because I decided not to cheese it and actually fought it without instantly killing it with Armageddon. I made a broken Messiah persona and just fought him alone, and it was pretty fun actually. Persona's combat is really fun when there is a semblance of difficulty and strategy required, so Elizabeth and the Reaper were some of the highlights of Reload for me. This isn't to say combat in Persona 3 Reload is bad though, don't get it twisted, because I think this game is one of, if not the most fun Persona game to play. And it's mainly the reason I was excited to be able to do another playthrough of it. The new skills, the theurgy attacks, the passive abilities, all of it was amazing. And I think Persona 6 should take a lot of what Reload is doing and implement it, because it really doesn't get much better than this when it comes to combat in the Persona series. Going back to the new game playthrough I did after failing initially, I rectified my main mistake and focused on the school day social links way more, and I made sure I chose the correct options for each rank. And doing that with some better time management in general was enough to finish all of the social links with just a few days to spare. Way tighter than I would have liked it to be, but as I got closer and closer, the tension got higher on whether I would be able to finish it in time or not. And it was very satisfying to have that final social link pop up and have a full maxed out social link list. During the final battle of the game, with all of the social links maxed, I'm not gonna lie, it made it a lot more emotional, and I wish I could show it, but I don't want to have spoilers in this video. Social links are one of my favorite aspects of any game ever, to be honest, which is why I was so excited to see a trophy for maxing all of them in the game. Maybe this is a hot take, but I think every single Persona game should have a trophy for maxing all of the social links, because it's the biggest part of the franchise at this point. But what do y'all think? I want to hear your thoughts on that take. Once I got all of the social links maxed and got to the end, which is always difficult because that final moment nearly drives me to tears every time I see it and you can't even skip it in this game. But once the final credits ran and the cutscene was over, the Platinum trophy was mine. With Persona 3 Reload's Platinum complete, I can now say I have every single Platinum trophy in the entire Persona franchise and then some. This Platinum honestly means a lot to me because not only does it let me say I have all the Persona Platinums again, but Persona 3 is one of the only games I've ever played to really hit me emotionally as hard as it did. I'm not afraid to admit I cried more than a few times when I first played this game back on PlayStation 2, and once I played the remake, it felt like the same song and dance, but better in my opinion. There's just so much to love about this remake, so the fact I was able to get the Platinum trophy really makes me happy, and that's what makes trophy hunting in general so fulfilling. Disregarding just Persona for a second, just the simple notion that you can enjoy a game so much that you go out of your way to do everything you can in it to get something as novel as a digital PlayStation trophy or a Steam or Xbox achievement or whatever it might be, is something I think is just kick ass, and it's the reason I enjoy the trophy system so much. It lets you show to the world, I love this game so much that I 100% completed it for no real reward other than the satisfaction of doing so. And just going through someone's trophy list can tell you a lot about them. For example, if you go through my trophy list, you can see I'm totally fucking insane because I have Platinum's Persona games in so many different languages and regions that I can't even remember the exact number anymore. And that is fucking awesome. Trophy hunting gives a sense of satisfaction that really helps me to enjoy games more, and it encourages me to get more out of the games I play, and I really appreciate it for that. That's about all I want to say for the Persona 3 Reload Platinum and my small tangent on trophy hunting as a whole. Bit of a shorter video, I know, but I really wanted to document my feelings and journey going for this platinum, so I hope you were able to find some enjoyment out of it. If you did, please drop a comment letting me know you liked it, and I'll try to do some more stuff like this in the future, and I'd also appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. It helps my channel out a lot, and I'll love you forever. It's been your boy Yandere Gogeta, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, and have a great day.